Welcome back, viewers, to the latest researches and news. Today we have updates about the evidence from the Shirena battle. And what it tells us about what happened there is more revealing than any military statement. We will update you about Gonder Hospital has been placed on priority war footing, treating large numbers of wounded Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers. Secondly, about confirmed reports. Tigraey Defense Force captured a large number of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers on the Shirena front. Multiple videos now circulating. We have shared footage with you in previous videos, and the confirmation is now solid. After that, about the Tigraey Defense Force claims it destroyed 3 Ethiopian National Defense Force tanks and 5 military vehicles using drone strikes on the Shirena front. No, and in the last, about a detailed look at Tigraey Defense Force's weapons capabilities, what it is confirmed to have, what has been observed in the field, and what remains uncertain. Let us start with Gonder Hospital, because what is happening there is the most concrete evidence available right now about the scale of the Ethiopian National Defense Force's losses at Sharena. According to sources, a hospital in Gonder has received a significant number of wounded Ethiopian military personnel following the Sharena front engagement. The hospital is now prioritizing the treatment of these soldiers above other patients. In order to accommodate the incoming wounded, patients who were already receiving treatment were reportedly instructed to relocate to other medical facilities to make room. Let us explain why this detail matters so much. In any military engagement, the number of wounded tells you more than the number killed because it reflects the actual scale of the confrontation. Killed in action figures can be minimized, hidden, or attributed to other causes. Wounded soldiers arrive at hospitals. They require beds. They require medical staff. They displace other patients. The hospital system reflects military reality in ways that official statements often do not. When a major hospital in a regional city like Gonder is placed on a war footing, when existing patients are moved to clear space for military wounded, it means the number of injured arriving from one operation is not routine. It is significant. Significant enough to strain the hospital's pneumo capacity. Sources also note that the death toll from the Shirena engagement has been rising since the initial reports. The numbers confirmed at the time of first reporting have increased as the full picture of the confrontation has become clearer. The Ethiopian government has issued no statement on these casualty figures. The Ethiopian National Defense Force has not acknowledged specific losses. That silence in the context of hospitals visibly managing a surge of military wounded is itself informative. In our previous video, we shared footage showing what appeared to be a large number of captured Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers on the Shirena front men in Ethiopian military uniforms held by Tigraey Defense Force. We were transparent at the time that we were still working to verify the footage's context and timing. We can now report that the capture of a significant number of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers on the Shirena front has been confirmed through multiple sources. Multiple videos are now circulating from various sources independently, not from a single account or a single video, all showing captured Ethiopian National Defense Force personnel from the recent fighting. The consistency across multiple independent pieces of footage and multiple independent sources gives this confirmation credibility that a single video could not provide alone. What does a large-scale capture of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers tell us? First, it means the Tigraey Defense Force was able to surround or overwhelm the Ethiopian National Defense Force units to the point where surrender became the only realistic option for those soldiers. You do not capture large numbers of an adversary's fighters through a brief skirmish. You capture them when you have achieved a decisive enough tactical advantage that retreat is cut off or the cost of continued resistance is too high. Second, it reflects the ongoing pattern of Ethiopian National Defense Force morale that we have been documenting across multiple fronts. Soldiers in Amhara have been defecting to Fano. Police recruits have been walking away from training camps. And now, on the Sharena front, a significant number of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers have surrendered to the Tigraey Defense Force. The Ethiopian National Defense Force has not addressed these captures publicly. The government has not acknowledged them. The videos continue to circulate. From Tigraey Defense Force sources a specific and significant battlefield climb. During the Shirena engagement, Tigraey Defense Force carried out drone strikes against Ethiopian National Defense Force positions on the front. According to these sources, those strikes destroyed at least 3 Ethiopian National Defense Force tanks and 5 additional military vehicles. We present this as claimed by Tigraey Defense Force sources and not independently verified. No Ethiopian National Defense Force statement has addressed this claim. But let us place it in context because the claim carries particular weight given everything else we know. We reported in previous updates that Tigraey Defense Force tested drones over Mekelle and that approximately 4 to 5 drone strikes were conducted against Ethiopian National Defense Force artillery and trench positions during the Shirena fighting. The claim that those drone strikes destroyed 3 tanks and 5 vehicles is consistent with that timeline and those confirmed strike numbers. Tanks are among the most strategically significant assets any army deploys. Losing 3 in a single engagement to drone strikes, if accurate, is not a minor battlefield setback. It is a demonstration that Tigraey Defense Force's drone capability can reach and destroy armored vehicles. That changes the tactical calculation for the Ethiopian National Defense Force in any future engagement in terrain where Tigraey Defense Force drones can operate. The combination of confirmed drone strikes, confirmed captures, and confirmed hospital overcrowding with military wounded paints a consistent picture of what happened at Shirena. The Tigraey Defense Force claims a major victory. The evidence reaching us from outside Tigraey Defense Force sources the hospital situation. The multiple capture videos supports the broad conclusion that the Ethiopian National Defense Force suffered significant losses. The Sharena engagement has raised a question that analysts and observers are now asking more urgently than before. What weapons does Tigraey Defense Force actually have? Let us go through what the evidence shows clearly and honestly, separating confirmed capability from reported capability from speculation. Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft guns, these systems, have been observed in images and videos from Tigraey. The Zu-23-2 is a Soviet-designed twin-barreled anti-aircraft gun, originally built to engage low-flying aircraft and helicopters, but effective at low-altitude drone interception as well. The confirmed presence of these systems means Tigraey Defense Force has a ground-based capability to target Ethiopian National Defense Force aircraft and drones at low altitude. This is directly relevant to the Shirena confrontation, where the Ethiopian National Defense Force deployed its own drones. Combat drones drone strikes by Tigraey Defense Force have now been reported and partially confirmed through multiple sources during the Shirena engagement. The origin, exact model, and technical specifications of these drones remain unconfirmed, but that they were used in active combat, and that they reportedly struck armored vehicles has been reported from multiple independent angles. This is Tigray Defense Force's most significant new capability compared to the 2020-2022 war. Mortars are confirmed in Tigray Defense Force's arsenal. They were present during the 2020-2022 war, and their continued operational use has been reported consistently. Mortars are essential for indirect fire support striking positions that cannot be hit by direct fire. When deployed in coordinated groups, they are highly effective against fixed defensive positions. Rocket-propelled grenades have been observed and reported widely in Tigray Defense Force-related footage. These shoulder-fired weapons are effective against armored vehicles, fortified positions, and infantry in open terrain. They are not precise, long-range weapons, but in close combat and ambush scenarios, they are among the most dangerous weapons available to an infantry force. Anti-tank guided missiles. Anti-tank guided missiles have been referenced by multiple military analysts and have been reported as present in Tigray Defense Forces arsenal. These are precision weapons designed to engage armored targets from significant distances. If the claim that 3 Ethiopian National Defense Force tanks were destroyed in drone strikes at Shirena is accurate, anti-tank guided missiles may have also played a role in other anti-armor actions during the engagement. The status of Tigray Defense Forces anti-tank guided missiles inventory is not fully confirmed, but has been reported consistently enough to be taken seriously. Electronic warfare jamming and signal disruption claims about Tigray Defense Force possessing electronic warfare capability, including jamming systems and signal disruption equipment, have circulated in analyst discussions. Independent confirmation of the operational effectiveness of these systems is limited. But the consecutive nights of internet disruption in Tigray, which we reported previously, raised the question of whether electronic measures may be playing a role in information control alongside standard government-imposed blackouts. Towed artillery. Towed artillery systems capable of long-range fire support have been reported as part of Tigray Defense Forces available equipment. These are heavier systems than mortars, capable of striking targets at greater distances and with larger explosive effect. What remains unconfirmed: the current operational status of heavier platforms tanks, multiple launch rocket systems. Infantry fighting vehicles within Tigray Defense Forces active inventory is not publicly confirmed. During the Pretoria Agreement process, a number of heavy weapons were publicly handed over to federal authorities under African Union monitoring. Whether additional reserves were retained, whether equipment has since been acquired, and what the current state of these heavier platforms is, remains uncertain. The overall picture, what the confirmed and reported capabilities suggest, is a Tigray Defense Force that is meaningfully better equipped than it was at the start of the 2020-2022 war, particularly in air defense and drone capabilities. The drone strikes at Shirena were not something Tigray Defense Force was able to execute in 2020. The anti-aircraft guns visible in Tigray were not part of the same visible defensive picture 3 years ago. The Ethiopian National Defense Force went into the Shirena operation believing it held air superiority. The evidence from the engagement suggests that superiority was contested and that the cost of that contest was significant. Let us bring tonight's full report together. Gonder Hospital is treating a surge of wounded Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers from the Sharena front. Patients were moved out to make space. The death toll from the engagement is rising. The hospital evidence tells the story that official statements are not telling. Multiple videos from multiple independent sources confirm that Tigraay Defense Force captured a large number of Ethiopian National Defense Force soldiers at Shirena. The captures are confirmed. Tigraay Defense Force claims it destroyed 3 Ethiopian National Defense Force tanks and 5 military vehicles using drone strikes. Consistent with the confirmed strike numbers, no Ethiopian National Defense Force denial or counterclaim has been issued, and Tigraay Defense Force's weapons arsenal Zu-23-2 anti-aircraft guns, combat drones, mortars, rocket-propelled grenades, anti-tank guided missiles, potential electronic warfare capability paints the picture of a military force that is significantly more capable than it was in 2020, and significantly more capable than the Ethiopian government may have publicly acknowledged. The Ethiopian National Defense Force launched an operation at Shirena. The hospitals are full. The captures are confirmed. The tanks are reportedly destroyed. We will continue to monitor and report every development as verified information reaches us. Like, share and subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss an update from the front lines.